Well, hi, friends. Guess what? This is day 7 of the Gratitude Challenge. And I have had extra time today because my morning did not go quite as planned. I can't believe it. I made it all 6 days. First thing in the morning, I'm ready to go. And right now it is like almost 5:30 in the evening. Yes, today did not turn out the way I planned. Which leads me to my last card for gratitude, which is the Hanged Man. I got the Hanged Man, and then I got the lovely Crystal Spirit from the Spirit cards. But first, we're going to talk about the Hanged Man. And gratitude for the Hanged Man. And I am grateful for the Hanged Man because this guy is like, I don't have to make a decision right away. I need to stop things and think about what I'm doing or what I'm saying or what I'm thinking. It can be a change in perspective, looking at things in a different fashion than you normally would. It can be a time for reflecting on where you've been and where you're going. And I'm grateful for that because I have had a lot of that recently. A lot of new reflections coming into my life now. Um, so it has all of these qualities that I'm grateful for because I actually think I'm going to call this card the Sacred Pause because this is the card that gives us the ability to just stop and say, you know what? Hold on a second here. I need a moment. I need a moment. And it gives us, that time to do that before we move on to the next step, which is the next step, by the way, is death. It's card number 13. This is 12. Death is 13. Death implies the transition, which I already talked about because I pulled the death card as well. Yeah, so the Hanged Man gives us that moment in time to kind of give ourselves an opportunity to perhaps change our views or our thoughts, maybe double check or rethink before we move ahead with that transition that's coming. And trust me, there's a transition coming. Whether you like it or not, it is the natural next step in the process. You don't want to be stuck where you were. So you don't want to hang out here. That's not a good place to be. You want to hang out here for a few minutes and, get your bearings, your perspectives. But you will need to move forward eventually. But there's wonderful things to be said about having that moment in time to regroup. Um, when I was putting my life back together after the loss of my mother and my Andy, I had that time where I just said, "Okay, I'm going to stop here for a little bit because I need to figure out what I'm doing, where I'm going, and who I am anymore." When you lose someone close to you, and especially, well, I shouldn't say that because grief is grief no matter who you lose. It doesn't make it any less important if it's a parent, if it's a sibling, if it's a friend, if it's a pet. Grief is grief, period. Um, there are some forms of grief, I think, that take us further down than others, which is the people that we are closest to. They are family, whether it be chosen family or blood family. They are so entwined within our beings and who we are and our lives and everything that can completely destroy you after they're gone. And you have to start over again. Fortunately, hopefully, Most of us have a good foundation still after the devastation. We're still standing after the devastation. Parts of us are still standing. And that's the time for the sacred pause. Going, okay, I can't move. I don't feel like moving. I'm not ready to move. And it's perfect. That sacred pause in your life is great for that, especially if it's a big event. Even if it's a small event, I could liken this to an instance that I had happen recently where I was very angry at something that happened, and I spouted off without thinking to another person. And what I should have done is I should have embraced the sacred pause and thought about what I was going to say before I said it. That's another thing the Hanged Man is good for, I think, is just to, be more mindful of what you say and what you do as well. So I'm grateful for this little guy hanging upside down. And then I love this crystal spirit. It says vibration, frequency, and acceleration. And this is a wonderful card to pair, I think, with the Hanged Man, because it's increasing your vibration and your frequency. And when you increase those things, much better things happen to you in the future, because you're high vibing. Your vibrational energy is much better when you've got stuff churning up here as opposed to churning down here. Right, Baker? Yes. She says, yes, we do, Mama. We're high vibing people. So I'm going to read you the message from the crystal spirit. And I firmly believe this, and I work with crystals and jewelry and all kinds of things. So for this very reason, Crystal Spirit's message is a reminder that you are made up of pure energy and vibration. Around you and within you, there is always this higher frequency, which is ultimately your natural state of being. You can activate and elevate your frequency through working with crystals and other means such as meditation, sound baths, connecting with nature, and being in the presence of others in a high vibration. So it's changing and elevating your frequency will tune you into a higher consciousness and awareness, and your life will be transformed in miraculous ways. Changing your vibration changes everything. And that is absolute truth. I will live and die by this philosophy that, the Hanged Man may bring you down for a moment, but you still got stuff going on in the background. And you can grab on to this crystal spirit. If you're not feeling it, not sure which way to go, grab for crystals that make you feel better. You don't even have to look up the reasons why or what the crystal properties are. Just grab a crystal that makes you feel good holding it. Trust me, it will increase your vibration immediately. Carry it with you for a few days, and see what happens. I swear by crystals in my practice and my life, and that is my gratitude for these two cards. The final day, day 7 of this gratitude challenge, I want to throw out a huge thank you again to my girl Jen over at Jen's Science to Soul Tarot and Transformation for this wonderful challenge. It's a great way to start off 2021. Mwah!